Hey guys, Scotty here, and I've got to say the last few weeks have been a bit hit and miss. It's been a bit of a shit show, to be honest. So what's happened? I mean, obviously, where was the last one we were talking about? Oh, yeah, so sorting out blackberries, done that. Well, I've still got some work to do on it, but that sort of thing. Obviously, my yard is looking very green at the moment, actually. But yeah, still got a lot of yard work to do here. So we had Motorex a few weeks ago. That was a big weekend. And then I got the flu from someone at Motorex, and that knocked me around for a week. And then last week, obviously, I was still under the pump, had to get the ute ready for Kenda. So I was in the carnage workshop getting the ute ready for Kenda. We headed over to Kenda last Thursday, me and Matty was still crook as well. He'd picked something up as well. So we drove to Kenda in South Australia at the Bend over on Thursday, and then on Friday it rained, and then Saturday it rained, so the whole meeting got rained out. We didn't even make it to the staging lanes. So we towed all the way over there, didn't get to make a single pass with the car, and then had to tow all the way back. And to be honest, we're not even in the worst of that situation. We had people down from Queensland, people from WA. So, you know, we had a pretty easy job of it, to be honest. And you can't blame the organisers. I mean, you know, no one controls the weather. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. So now it's Sunday afternoon, and I haven't really got anything done. I haven't got really any sort of serious video for you guys, but I do have some stuff to talk about. So let's have a bit of a chat here in the garage. I'm going to move out of the sun a bit. Let's move back here a bit. All right, so 12s for 2K Falcon. I need to get back into this. There's some stuff to do with it, and a few people have asked what I'm going to do in terms of, like, am I going to continue with the J3? And I've finally come to the decision where I think no. I think the J3 is okay for what it is, but for us to make it work, we need to put a fuel cut defender in there, which is an extra couple $100, and some other stuff, and then we'll get it back on the dyno and try and make it work. And even after doing all of that, there are severe limitations. Like, you still can't run over like 15 pounds of boost and all this sort of stuff. So it becomes a very limiting thing. Where the other day, Ben reached out to me, one of my fans, reached out to me and sent me this box. And in this we have, let me get into a position here. Sorry, the lighting's a bit bad here. So this is an Adaptronic ECU that Ben had, and they don't make these anymore. Haltech bought them out. So the guy that created the Adaptronic now works for Haltech, and he's responsible for a lot of their Nexus hardware. And but this is an M2000 Adaptronic. It uses the AMP sort of plugs, much the same as a Haltech Elite ECU. These are probably equivalent to like a Elite 2000 ECU, you know. And Ben said, look, I've got this ECU, take it, use it. If it works for you, give me $400 for it. And I'm like, okay. So I've already bought plug and pin kits for it. So I've got the plugs and pins to wire it up. I'm going to wire it up into the Falcon. Someone else also dropped me off a Shift Kits Australia Shift Kit controller for the AU. So I'm going to wire that in as well. But, you know, the J3 was $300, and say that's $400. Then, you know, we take the 300 for the J3 and add 400. So we're not really hammering the budget that much. Sure, it's not really as budget as I originally intended, but to be honest, I didn't originally intend to do a J3 anyway. It was just something that kind of got, you know, one of the fans sent it to me and said, hey, why don't you use this J3? And once I went down that J3 rabbit hole, I was kind of committed. But now, yeah, I can use this, and, you know, I should be able to data log with it and everything. It's going to make it so much more usable in the end that, yeah, it's definitely, like, I can't knock it back, can I? You know, so definitely got to go this way. This will allow us to run whatever amount of boost we want to run, you know, how much that the engine will handle anyway. And just give us a lot more scalability ultimately to do whatever we want with the car long term. So as I said, I've got plugs and pins for that, and I'll wire that in after we come back from the States. So I go to the States in 3 weeks. That's the other thing. So 6 summers coming up, so I'm going to the States in 3 weeks. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. My main concern right now is I don't have an engine. I have, you know, the Barra hasn't shown up yet. So I'm hoping we will have that in time for me to do the engine swap. If it doesn't show up, then so be it. I'll just do what they call sick ward, which is follow along with sick summer with because the Fairmont runs and drives, it's registered, it's insured, you know, it's ready to go. Like, we can run it and drive it. In fact, the sick summer crew have already said they would let me race it the way it is, but it'd run an 18-second pass, and I'm not going to do that to people. I'm not going to make them watch me go down the track in 18 seconds. 12s, fine. 18s, no. But I certainly would love to just even join the party and just, you know, cruise the route with the car and just have a good time. And, you know, there's always next year. But hopefully, you know, we get the engine and we can do that swap, and that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So that's in 3 weeks. So yeah, the countdown is definitely on. What else has happened? We've got this lovely box has shown up. I won't tell you what's in it, but you can see the company. So it's a tool. So that is something that I will show you in the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping. I need to do some prep work. So it's going to be something that's going to really help the wagon, the lockdown wagon. That is something that's really going to help. And yeah, I don't want to give too much away. Throw a guess in the comment section if you think you know what it's going to be. But it's something that's really going to help the progression of the lockdown wagon. So I'll leave you with that, and you can see if you can have a guess at what that's going to be. Other things that I've been doing, I've been working on this little big block down here. So this is a 383 that one of the engines that Brendan gave me. This was complete when Brendan gave it to me. I have pulled it down recently. I've started shooting some stuff on that, but I haven't got enough to make what I would like an episode to be yet. But we'll get a good episode out of that soon. I've just got to get the new rings and bearings for it, and I can start on that. But basically it's a standard bore. It's pretty much 0 deck height. So it's going to be a good 383 to build up. And I'm just going to rebuild it with the standard rods and pistons, but new rings, new bearings. I've got a camshaft I picked up from Precision recently. They were having a bit of a clearance sale, and I picked up a camshaft, and it's like 244, 250, 50 sort of hydraulic cam. It's a pretty decent cam. So I'm going to put that in that with a set of those big block heads over there. There's a couple of those heads are actually pretty good heads. We'll build it up, and I'll see if I can get it onto Johnny Pillar's dyno, and maybe we can get it up on the dyno and run it up and see what sort of power it makes. But that cam with good heads, with that engine, with good comp, should make low 400s, I would imagine. We can get over 400 horsepower out of it. That would be pretty decent. And then put it in that Volvo, give it a bit of a spray. That could be some happy times. So anyway, that's kind of my game plan for that right at the moment. But yeah, I have to get the rings and bearings and finish that, and that'll be soon. I might grab that stuff during the week if I can, and give me something to do next weekend for a video. But yeah, lots to do. So yeah, 12s for 2K, lockdown wagon, this engine, then try and get the engine into the Volvo. So yeah, lots of things happening, and then obviously the US trip coming up is going to be a pretty big deal for me. I'm going to try and do lots of updates, lots of daily updates is my plan. Yeah, and like I said, it could go either way. It could be like a barra swap and having, you know, all that goes with that. I've been prepping a lot with that. I've been collecting parts. I still haven't actually sent my parts box over. That's another thing that I need to do a rush on that this week. But I've been getting a sump modified. I've got mounts from Tough Mounts. So Jason at Tough Mounts has sent me some mounts and sent me a sump conversion kit. And Ben's doing the welding on the sump right now. Harness from Hooten's Harnesses, bell housing from Craig at Torque Power. Yeah, so I've got some, you know, pretty good parts for this combo, and it should be pretty awesome. Should be a lot of fun, but like I said, it could all go pear-shaped if the motor doesn't show up, and if that happens, then it'll be just hey, let's go and do the sick ward thing. Let's cruise around America in our two-door Fairmont, which will be fun in itself, you know. So we'll have a good time with that. But yeah, I've been in kind of a holding pattern for the last, well, other than being ill and then all the stuff, all the carnage stuff that I've been snowed under with, you know, we're trying to get ahead with carnage to cover videos while I was away. And, well, you know, we went over to South Australia to try and do 2 videos, and we ended up with no videos. So, yeah, that's not fun. But it is what it is. Yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen with carnage videos while I'm away. The boys will just have to sort some stuff out, I think. I was trying to get ahead for them, but, you know, maybe it's just not going to happen. So, and then I've been trying to save as much money as I can for the trip, because it will cost a bit. You know, the American dollar being what it is at the moment, it's not that great. So this isn't going to be a cheap trip. Again, it is what it is. Content costs money, so, you know, we'll try and do what we can and have a good time, but also make great content for you guys out, you know, because you guys have been great supporters of Scotty's Garage since we've re-kicked all this off. Oh shit, I haven't done those tool drawers yet either, so let's do that this week. I want to arrange to do these tool drawers. They're sitting on, they're looking right at me. They're up on the cupboard there, the tools ready to give away. So we've got to do the tool drawers. So that's something I need to arrange during the week. I need to arrange my package to the States this week, get that sent FedEx Express. It's going to cost, you know, a few $100s to get that done. But again, these are the things we've got to do. And then once I come back from the States, I'll be like, 12s for 2K, get that going, get this 383 going, get the lockdown wagon, do a bunch on that. Because these are all things that have been hanging off because of just lack of, or time, but also money. I've been trying just saving as much money as I can. So it's hard to make projects progress when you're saving every dime to for, you know, another project, you know, which is the Fairmont in the States. But yeah, super excited, super nervous, but super excited about how that's all going to go. And then, you know, with this new tool that Vivor has sent me, that's going to help progress this lockdown wagon. Yeah, there is so much to do, and, you know, the garage is just a super mess at the moment. I've been going down to Bunnings every week looking for another one of these racks to come up on special. You know, like that rack, I got it for like $130, and I keep going down to Bunnings to see if they got any more on special, and every week they're like $270, and I'm like, $270 is not too bad, but, you know, right now the way I'm saving money, I'm just $130, yeah, sure. $270, I can wait. But I want to organise my shed a lot better, and I need more of these racks to do that. But yeah. Place is a mess. I really need to get in here and clean it up, but I need the racks to do it. Anyway, this has not been the video that I really wanted to do, but to be honest, the way things were looking anyway was that I was supposed to be in the car driving back from South Australia right now. We ended up coming back last night after they called the meeting early. So to be honest, the video that you're going to see, this video, probably wasn't going to happen because I was going to be driving and not have time to do it. Anyway, so you got a video. You know what's going on. You know what's going on in my life. And it has been pretty hectic. But I seem to be over, well, 95% over the flu. I'm trying not to cough right now, but I'm 95% over it. And I'm trying to get back to 100% before I go to the States. I definitely don't want to get sick over there either, but I want to be as healthy as I can for sick summer and just have the best time that I can and get you guys the content that you deserve. Anyway, I think I've talked enough. Let's upload this. Hopefully you enjoyed this little mini tour, and we will see you next week, hopefully with some more betterer content. See you then.